Hello, beautiful world. Here we are, episode 4 of our Outrageously Evolving podcast with me, Slara Green, and
Santara Green, of course.
such
No
enthusiasm.
introduction needed.
There you go. So in episode 2, we talked about genius flow, and in episode 3, we talked about infinite intelligence, this creative sentient intelligence that's in the air all around us. So in episode 4, we thought that we'd talk about partnering with the invisible forces, communing with the unseen, you could say. I think it's something that we do very well. And it wove through the last 2 episodes of Genius Flow and Infinite Intelligence, but it's more than that as well. And I think it started for me when I said yes to the universe. Let's say, I'd say it that way for me, that I went, I don't want to just be another human being trying to do good things in the world. I said, yes, universe, yes to the infinite, yes to sourceness, yes to the new future for the world, yes to bigger things than I can imagine. And when I did that, these powers and forces and intelligences and creation and possibilities started to weave their way through me. So I wasn't left on my own to try and figure it out. It was like I partnered with these invisible forces. I say forces plural, but it like the universe and I partnered up. And that's how I would talk about it. How about for you?
Well, I was curious back in my 30s to 40s, and I tried all sorts of different courses. And on one of the courses, we were given this moment to explore channeling. And though I didn't channel any specific entity or information,
Yeah.
it was like there was a feeling that there was something beyond the body, that you would know the body to be, that there was actually an energy field that you could sense and feel that it didn't have a boundary to it. And I think that was quite an important realization, because that in itself allows you to almost like dream in a fantastical way, that you are more than a physical structure. Because up until then, it was you are the physical body. But then it was like, no, you have a consciousness. No, you have an energy field. No, you have a relationship to something else which talks with you. And so that was like an understanding that you're not alone, that
Yes.
you yourself were not a single individual alone in
Yes.
the world.
Yeah.
That there was something which was almost like being with you, guiding you, assisting you.
Yeah.
And you could put it in so many different terms, of course, guardian spirits, angels, masters, whatever you might have thought at the time, you could put a label on. The energy was there to support, to guide, to advise, and to assist you to almost like progress your own understanding
Yeah.
of your own capabilities. So in that sort of way, yes, you're partnering with unseen forces. But you mentioned before the podcast started about being able to speak with dead people, which again is something what we've had experiences with.
Oh, yeah.
Something that you I might have witnessed in the movie where the boy says, "I speak with dead people," and you go, "Wow, that's so cool." And then you think, no, I don't want to have that, because you don't want to tap something you don't understand. So the way that we've really, let's go back to saying evolved ourselves,
Yeah.
is that we've been very careful in what it is that we've been partnering with. We
Yeah.
just don't just say, yeah, whoever's out there, just send something in and we'll deal with it. No, we deal with it in a very particular way that we can firstly understand what it is we're dealing with, and also know that we have the capacity to deal with whatever it is that we're dealing with. And this idea again about partnering with something you can't see it's almost like very bookish, the fantastical tales that you avidly read as youngsters, and you think, well, this would be so cool if we could. But then, of course, becoming an adult, all those thoughts and dreams, in imaginings, inspirations, they just fade away because you're focused on being an adult, earning a living, and doing X, Y, Z. This type of partnering doesn't require any of that.
No.
It's almost like something happens to you. You have an experience, maybe like we've had it, sitting on Glastonbury Tor, and just being present with the whole of the scenery around you in a 360-degree panorama. And it's like you're feeling that you're no longer in time and space sitting on Glastonbury Tor.
Yeah.
You could be in the crucible of the universe and crucible of creation,
Yes.
and feeling that you're being transformed in some amazing way.
Yeah.
Again, sometimes it's your imagination takes over, you reconceptualize everything around you, but it's that ability to be able to suspend belief and to be able to dwell in the magic and infinite possibilities that allows transformation to occur, rather than being, again, in the matrix and feeling that you are a fixed identity. I think this idea about being able to partner with something that you cannot see is a very wonderful stimulus
Yes.
to be able to consider things, to be curious, to want to know, what is it that you can teach me? What is it that you can stir within me, which I can now take over for myself? So many different questions might come up in the, let's say, this dialogue, even if it's an imaginary dialogue. But it is that wanting to break through even thought barriers, concepts that you've had since birth, they suddenly become irrelevant. Something is with you in such a way that you feel endless, that every thought that you've ever had is just simply gone in that moment. It doesn't exist. And you're in another world, another creation of possibilities. And I think once you've had those experiences time and time again, as you allow yourself to grow into that newness of
Yeah.
yourself, then you find that talking with something, talking with plants, even as we said in the last episode, about being able to open to everything around you because you've defocused. And then it's just like time has stood still.
Yeah.
You are in another realm,
Yeah.
another place. The child who wanted to to explore the magical forest knows that the magic is in the body. It's in the air around you.
Yes.
It's in every cell of you, no
Yes.
matter what you think about yourself. And so therefore you become that superhero. You become the magical creation. You
Yes.
become the aspiration of whatever you wanted to be in the first place.
Yeah.
And that is almost like something I think people want to have in their lives, but they don't know necessarily how to get there,
Yeah.
how the experiences that we're talking about, how they can be introduced into their own personal selves, almost
And
like as it's
lives.
drawn into you.
Yeah. The thing with us is it's not some magical, fantastical moments in our lives in meditation or something. It's a living, real life reality experience for us to live as that, to create as that, to be generators of that, and to find ways in which we run our lives in that way by partnering with these unseen, invisible forces. To me, I just can't even imagine wanting to live my life any other way than that, because it's so exhilarating, exciting, high vibrational. I have loads of vitality, ideas, innovation that come from it. And it's like when I say yes to the universe and I'm becoming more sourceful, more of that generative intelligence, it's like it picks me up and carries me along. It takes me to the next iterations of my life and of the world and of reality. And I just can't even imagine anything that would be even more exciting than that to me. That's just like, mwah, that's life in the fantastical lanes, you could say.
Hmm. I'm thinking of now I'm thinking of a particular instance where I interviewed an author who wrote a book about Hemingway, and what he was saying about the writing, it wasn't about so much the content that the guy was writing, but is that he had formed a relationship with Hemingway,
Mm.
and it was like everything Hemingway was and had been was like being made available to the
Yeah.
author, to this guy himself.
Yeah.
And he was also saying that everything that associated with Hemingway was also by that association available to everybody who read his books.
Mm.
So we can play with all these thoughts and ideas and imaginings. What if this was possible? What if that was possible? It's when you tip it over and say, that's a real experience that I'm now
Yes.
having.
Yeah.
It becomes something beyond a fictional possibility
Yes.
into a true and experiential knowingness that
Yeah.
this now is so. So if we say that we've been able to talk with disembodied spirits, we have an idea, perhaps a picture of disembodied spirits. People have gone over and are no longer resident, in this world in the form that we know,
Mhm.
but we can perhaps still get their identity. And beyond that, we can sense that they are part of something great and unimaginably
Yes. Yeah.
forceful.
They are
And not
evolving alongside us.
and not only that, everything is evolving.
Yes, it is
That's where
constant.
you must come to at some point. You
Yeah.
can't place things, as we said in the last episode, they're still that and that and that for all time.
Yeah.
No, everything is changing.
Yeah.
Everything that we know about energy and consciousness and life and creation and universal concepts, all of it is changing all the time.
Yeah.
And unless you actually stand in that center point and feel the evolution as it is taking place,
Yeah.
you will forever be the observer, wondering about evolution itself. You've got to be that evolution process in everything that you are.
Yes.
And so, therefore, you're no longer talking to a disembodied spirit. You're talking with the energy, with the consciousness, with the life force, with whatever you want to term it. And
Yeah.
it is you also.
Yeah.
Not only is it a them and us, it is all of us.
Yeah. And for me, it's universe, source, creation, greatness, new futures. They are forces and powers and flows and that are in the air, waiting to captivate us, to enchant us, to elevate us, to swoop through us and be creative in the world. And for me, it's the difference of living life inside a body, trying to figure out a world, to living a life as an expansive, universal being, dancing with the flows of these powers and forces and greatness and genius and creative intelligence and futures. And I know a lot of people might go, whoa, what? But it's so tangible and real and practical as well for us as we live our lives. We run our businesses that way. I coach people that way. We write from that place. We live in that way. We make decisions from that place. And it's just such an incredible way to live life, to be a partner with the universe, with the unseen and invisible forces and powers that are waiting to enchant life through us.
The child was reading this book about magic, and the child never put down that book, but forever lived in the enchanted lands.
Was that you reading something you'd written?
No, that's us.
Oh, yes. That is us for sure, because we make it a living reality. It is not some separate experience we have that, like during meditations or whatever. It's a living experience. It's a living partnership for us, which is to me just an enchanting way to live life. So I guess that wraps up that one for now. And
Awesome.
that's it for episode 4. Who knows what comes next? We'll see what
Stay
next
tuned.
topic we're going to explore. If there's something you'd like to see, please get in touch and let us know what you'd love us to talk about. It's been great having this conversation with you all. Thanks for listening.
See you on the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.